Chasing Purpose was designed to empower, uplift, and enlighten you on your journey in chasing your purpose.
Don't waste your time with thoughts of giving up.
Chasing Purpose.
Not too late for us to try. We can overcome.
Chasing Purpose. Candid conversations, nurturing faith, pursuing aspirations, setting intentions.
Together we rise, divided we fall.
Yeah.
Let Jah lead the way.
Chasing Purpose.
Cause God always a listen.
Chasing Purpose.
One day I have to win. That's why I'ma try again.
Chasing Purpose. Mondays, 7 p.m. on Arijam Radio, Arijam 360, or arijamradio.com. Hosted by Cynthia Shea.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day. It's a new life for me. It's a new dawn, it's a new day. It's a new life for me. Woo, woo, woo. And I'm feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on a tree, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. Dragonfly out in the sun, you know what I mean, don't you know? Butterflies all having fun, you know what I mean. Sleep in peace when day is done, that's what I mean. And this whole world is a new world and a bold world for me. Stars when you shine, you know how I feel. Scent of the pine, you know how I feel. Oh, freedom is mine, and I know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. Oh, dum-de-dum-de-dum-de-dum-de-da. Oh, it-da-dee-dee-dee. Oh, Molly-Bobby-Blow. I'm feeling good.
Is feeling lighter this Monday evening? Who else is standing a little bit taller with a brighter smile, with a fresh perspective? Lord knows we over here at Arijam Radio certainly are. It's a new day, it's a new dawn, it's a new light, and we are feeling good. Congratulations to our 46th President Joe Biden and our first ever female, first ever Caribbean/Asian American VP, Madam Vice President Kamala Harris. And even bigger congratulations. We are so super proud of you and rooting for you, Miss Young Pitney, Amanda Gorman, America's youngest poet laureate. As we wrap up our Nurturing Faith series, I want to recap some of the key points we discussed. Quotes from last three guests. On January 4, we learned from happiness coach Rochelle Gapier that happiness is a choice and it has to be intentional. We learned that worth is an internal state of being that comes from us truly knowing who we are. On that show, we vowed for 2021 that we would be nicer to ourselves. We would get moving. We would drop the pressure of being perfect. We would stop comparing ourselves. We vowed to do more of the things that make us happy and to celebrate the wins, no matter how small. On January 11th, we had from Pastor Stephen Blake that one no dead, no call him duppy. If a man no dead, never write him off. Once you have life, there's hope. On January 18th, last week, Nadine McNeil, aka Universal Empress, reminded us that resolutions are passive. Intentions have an activation element behind them. This evening, our final topic in the Nurturing Faith series is overcoming. What are some of the things you are overcoming or have overcome? What actions and steps did you take? All these questions and more we will answer and discuss this evening. Welcome to Chasing Purpose, heard every Monday, 7 p.m. right here at our home at Irie Jam Radio, on our app, Irie Jam 360, as well as IrieJamRadio.com. I am your host, Cynthia Shea. We love to hear your views and your reviews. Please share them with us at 888-546-8742. That's 888-546-8742. You can also email us at chasingpurpose on IrieJam@gmail.com. Stay connected with us via our social media platforms on Facebook, Chasing Purpose, and be sure to join our Facebook group called Purpose Soars. You can follow us over at Instagram at chasingpurpose_on-purpose. Be sure to follow, like, and share. All right, grab a pen, grab a paper, or grab your journals, grab a glass of water, and when we return from the break, we're going to dive into our discussion of overcoming. Stay tuned.
Irie Jam.
93.5 VIP.
Do you have a credit score of 650 or less? Do you want to get it to 700 and higher? Then call Gold Coast Credit Services at 888-556-0606. Fixing your credit allows you to save money on high-interest credit cards, stop paying high security deposits, get lower insurance rates, stops you from paying cash for everything, get a higher credit limit, stop debt collector harassment, feel better about your credit score, buy a new house, qualify for premium credit cards, removes errors on your credit, boost your credit score, refinance all your loans for lower interest rates, avoid risky alternative financing solutions, and much more. Call 888-556-0606. That's 888-556-0606 to fix your credit score today.
This is a public service announcement from Irie Jam Radio.
To help protect others from COVID-19 who wear a mask or cloth face covering when in public, make sure your mask covers your nose and mouth and you can breathe through it. Remember to clean your hands before and after putting on your mask. And try not to touch the mask or your face while wearing it. Don't use a mask on children under the age of 2, and don't use surgical masks needed by healthcare workers. Help stop the spread.
That was a public service announcement from Irie Jam Radio.
You ever check out the Golden Crust store on Picking Avenue in Brooklyn? The cooked food is excellent. Soups, porridge, chicken, goat, oxtail, seafood, and fish specials. You name it, they have it. And it tastes nice. Plus, them have peanut punch, Irish moss, carrot, coconut water, sorrel, magnum, and more juices and drinks. Golden Crust at 1655 Picking Avenue near Rockaway Avenue in Brooklyn. 718-342-7576. Catering and delivering services are also available. We little, but we talawa.
Jamaica Smooth CBD-infused gummies and capsules are a great way to combat anxiety and sleep disorders. On top of tasting amazing, our island-inspired gummies and CBD capsules allow you to get the exact dosage of CBD without having to guess. Simply take them as you would daily vitamins and let the CBD work its way to help soothe and relax you. I'm Joe, your CBD expert. Order now at jamaicasmooth.com or call us
1-833-766-6845. That's 1-833-SMOOTH-5.
Hi, this is Jillian from New Species. I have an opportunity for you to win a New Species upgraded anti-inflammatory formula. Here's what you need to do by January 31st. Go to newspecies.com, nuspecies.com, scroll to the second section, and click to fill out our 2021 survey. Aston and I are working on new offerings, and we want to make sure that we're providing what you actually need from New Species this year. Once you've filled out the survey by January 31st, you'll be entered to win. Help Aston and I ensure that we provide offerings that you need. The drawing is on February 1st. So pick up your phone now, open your browser, go to nuspecies.com, scroll to the second section, and click to fill out the survey. On February 1st, you could be the one that wins a free New Species upgraded anti-inflammatory formula.
Not just radio, man, you know. It's Jam Radio, you know.
When I was just a young boy, maybe like 17, I would talk to my father, told him about my dreams, and often he would tell me, don't rush to be a man. I heard the words that he spoke, but could not understand, 'cause to me life was easy, it was just fun and games, until I saw that people were filled with so much pain. It's harder to share sometimes, easier to pretend. The way we treat each other, I just don't comprehend. Last night I heard a story, too crazy to be true. I wouldn't dare repeat it. What are we gonna do? And as we figure it out, the time just slips away. Don't worry about tomorrow, just be glad you've got today. It's strange, strange things are happening. Strange things are happening. Strange things is happening. Oh, what a feeling, forget what you want. They want disappear from it all. How strange is the thought, boss, how your fears run so deep. How some a dream nightmares in my sleep, and I wake and I can't get my thoughts to align. I lost in my head and I searching for time, and I want figure how to escape from my mind. Cause it too strange up there, God know I trying, and it start take a toll. Me start feel a weight, heavy is the head, now I know what it mean, and I feeling ashamed, feeling the doubt. Can't understand what this feeling about. Will I reach an amount of the things that I need that would lead me to be at myself and be free? Yo, it all too bizarre, I can't get a grip. It moving too fast and my fingers are slip on a daily. This reach me this.
Welcome back to Chasing Purpose. As we close out our in-depth discussion on our first pillar, nurturing faith, we end on the topic of overcoming. This queen is no stranger to the Irie Jam airwaves and made her mark quite loudly. The Jamaican-born actress, radio personality, mother, and children's book author has an endless resume that gets updated daily. She is strong, persistent, and talented in every way. At age 29, she became a mother. Simultaneously, she received an invitation from Nationwide Radio in Jamaica to become an on-air personality. With her loud tone, uncensored reasoning abilities, and girl power mentality, she quickly became a favorite among female fans. In 2012, she was invited to be the only on-air female personality for Irie Jam Radio. Upon her arrival, she was dubbed Felisha Loud. Not only does the name Loud represent her tone, vibe, and personality, it is an acronym which she stands for: Live Out Your Dreams. This representation is something Felisha lives by and encourages young women to follow as well. Today, Felisha is an advocate for autism, as she is an autism mummy. She is also an advocate for bipolar 1, mental health, and self-care. Felisha's motto, smile even if you don't feel like it. Welcome to Chasing Purpose, Felisha. How are you?
Oh, Sin. See, I call her Sin because she's been my boss, she's been my friend, she's been my co-worker, she's been everything.
All of
so
these things.
I call her Sin. But yes, Shintashe, thank you for such a welcome. Like, honestly, sometimes I have to Google myself because I don't remember the things that I've done.
Yes.
When you've been living your life in a mental illness, you tend to miss a lot of your purpose, a lot of your life. So most of the times when I hear people talk about me like you just did, I'm like, oh wait, yeah, I did do that.
Yes,
and
you
I
did.
did do that.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Tonight we are on the topic of overcoming.
Yes.
Well, you are no stranger to this term. And in fact, you share with your audience through your social media platforms that you are overcoming daily. Share with us some of the obstacles or adversities you have had that you have overcome or are overcoming.
Well, I'm going to say, let's start with autism. And the reason why I want to start with autism is because autism showed me my weaknesses. And I am overcoming being an autism parent because it's an ongoing process. She is on my daughter, Africa, Felisha Lord, is only 9 years old. So from the day she was diagnosed at age 2, I've been overcoming since then, but it didn't start that way, Sin. You know, it started off with blaming myself first. It started off with wondering, what did I do wrong when I was pregnant that made my daughter this way? It started off with me being mad at God because I don't understand how I get one child and something is wrong. It always does this to me. It always does this to me. It doesn't matter how many years have passed. It always does this to me. I couldn't understand why God would do this to my one child. And then it went from there to, okay, take myself out of the equation because I used to have a lot of pride. I used to have a lot of shame because how is it actress Felisha Lord, radio personality Felisha Lord, and our pitney are sitting around with our pitney, right? So I used to have a lot of pride. I used to have a lot of shame. It used to be something that I kept to myself. You guys at Arijam Radio did not know that my daughter had autism. And when I started working there, my daughter was about 2 years old. And you guys had no idea that she had autism because it's something that I wasn't prideful about, right? I kept it to myself. And then I realized it was eating me alive. It was bringing me into another world, which was depression, where I wasn't taking care of myself and I wasn't taking care of my daughter the way she needed me to do. And that's when I said, you know what? Let me take myself out of the equation because this little girl did not ask to be born. She didn't ask to come to earth. So the fact that I brought her here through my body, it's my responsibility to make sure she gets what she needs to be a fully functioning human.
Yes, absolutely.
So that's when I put my pride aside and I asked for help. I spoke to teachers and people and they told me what to do. I got her some help. I got her 5 different therapists, speech because she wasn't talking. She wasn't no eye contact. She was walking on her toes. It was a whole different baby.
But look at God. A whole different child. Look at God. Look at God today. Africa is blossoming. When I see her, I'm just like, what? When did this happen?
Africa is on the honor roll.
Hello. Congratulations. And that is a testament of mommy. That is a testament of what mommy has done. Okay, I want you to understand that. That honor roll was how mommy's rearing her.
That.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to understand that because I'm still in warrior mode.
Yeah. And that's understandable. That's understandable.
Yeah.
Understandable.
Yeah.
I posted the other day about healing from past traumas and how Chasing Purpose is helping me to do just that. and you welcomed me into the club.
Yes.
So what steps
Yes.
are you taking to heal? And also, how important is it to have a support group or community in the healing process?
Oh my goodness. First of all, within the Caribbean community, mental wellness is not even recognized because people are ashamed naturally to say they need help in a mental department. Because you don't want nobody say, boy, you need for God, Bellevue. You need for this, you need for that. So a lot of people tend to just keep that side of them private and they suffer in silence. So that's what I was doing. Even when I was working at Jam Radio, you guys had no clue the things that I was going through outside of autism and domestic violence and all that stuff. And those are the things that would eat me alive privately. And I stopped posting on social media for 2 years because I did not have anything to smile about. And I couldn't sit there and take a selfie and just smile and put something up because I had nothing to smile about until one day I said to myself, no, why don't I just be real? I don't have to be this big personality person that everybody is used to. I'm a person.
Yeah. You're
First
human
of all.
first. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a human first, and then I'm a mom, and mom got struggles. We got issues, you know, Sin. Like your daughter may not have autism, but being a parent is tough.
Yes, it is. It is, and there's no handbook. There's no handbook. Yeah, it's tough.
So once I decided to just speak my truth, I was waiting for the backlash. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm waiting for people to say mean things, and they didn't.
No.
They didn't. Everybody was like, girl, I'm going through that too. Girl, let me tell you, girl, thank you for saying that, because if you never saved me over here, one day I want to kill myself or not. And hearing you this morning gave me hope. And I'm hearing these things and I'm like, hold on there, man. It was helping me. It was helping me. I am getting personal and sharing my thoughts and my deepest, darkest, but actually it was making me free because I didn't have anything to hide anymore. When I found out last year about May, when I was diagnosed with bipolar 1, it was a different level of depression. Coming out of autism and going into hearing that I'm bipolar 1, nobody know why you're saying nothing quote unquote wrong with them. But then I had to figure out a way to look at it, Sin, because I'm over here telling my daughter nothing is wrong with her. She has autism and I'm giving her power and strength to do all things she can through autism. But then when it came my turn, where I had to do all things through bipolar 1, I was in a dark place because I was like, yo, what do you mean by bipolar? Like, I used to know something was off, but I didn't know what it was. And I used to smoke 2 packs of cigarettes a day. Y'all remember when I was at Ira Jam and I would go outside every commercial break. Smoking 2 packs of cigarettes, drinking before bed, drinking when I wake up in the morning, all those times in Jamaica, shooting and being on set and being unhealthy mentally. I didn't know what was wrong, Sin, but I know something was off. And when they told me that I was bipolar, I was like, oh, so that's what it's called. This thing that I've been feeling. And then I went back into pride again. I was like, what do you mean, my bipolar? Nothing wrong with me. Them don't know nothing. Them not, I went through the denial. And then the moment I started accepting and I went public with it again, that's when I had a whole different slew of community coming in going, girl, don't worry yourself. Just take your medication and your team nice.
Yes. Oh my God. Awesome. Awesome.
So when you mentioned earlier about having a community, it is extremely essential to healing because when you are alone, your mind will tell you things. You will talk conversation. You have the most, what do you call it? Character shattering conversations with yourself.
Character shattering. Wow.
We do character shattering. We tend to break ourselves down because it's easier than trying to build yourself up out of dirt. So for me, I thought about suicide. I tried it. I took about 35 pills because I felt like it was easier to be dead than to try to figure out this bipolar thing. And then I thought about the fact that my daughter, if I die, who is going to take care of her? And then I was like, Lord, geez. So You mean in my time of selfishness, I have to be selfless?
Yes. Oh.
So then when I realized that killing myself was not an option, I said, okay, all right, here what? All I have to do is live for the next 15 minutes. And live for the next 15 minutes after that. And before me know it, the day done. And then we're gone in our next day. And then before me know it, the week done. And then before me know it, I am being a motivational person for people like me.
Yes, look at
And
that.
that's why one of the main things, that's why I said yes to coming on the show, because I want people to realize, especially people who have thoughts of suicide, I need you to know that whatever you're feeling is temporary. You have to live long enough to realize how temporary it is, but it's temporary.
Wow.
And besides it being temporary, it's a part of your journey.
Right. And
that
a part of the healing
definitely
process.
The big takeaway.
Yes. You recently spoke about consistency being the one thing that will see you through or see us through. Expound on that. Why is consistency key?
Consistency is key because that is just simply how you get to any destination. You can't get up today and walk 2 miles expecting to finish 10 miles. You have to start, continue, and finish. And consistency for me, being a bipolar 1 person, has been one of the biggest things of my life. Like I said, I knew a lot of things were going on with me, but I didn't know what it was called or why. So consistency for me is really hard because my brain is just not that organized to do the same thing over and over. My brain registers it as monotony, and monotony, for someone who goes through manic episodes, monotony doesn't work for a bipolar 1 person. Monotony, aka routine. Right? It doesn't, which creates a big rift in my household because my daughter has autism and needs a routine to progress. So the challenges I have within me outside of my fiance and my daughter are so huge. That's why each day I get up, I have to make a conscious effort to do little things like make her lunch the same way, like wake her up at the same time in the morning, make sure she brushes her teeth around the same, because she needs that as an autistic diagnosis. But for me as bipolar 1, where I go through manic episodes, I go through mood swings from 0 to 100 within 5 minutes, that the consistency is rough. So that's a big part that my fiance plays when it comes to certain things, because this man will get up and walk 5 miles every day, same time every day, whether it rain or shine, because he's a consistent human being. And I believe that's the reason why God sent him to me. Even though when God sent him to me, a lot of people left my life when he came. Because I didn't realize how many people in my life were actually racist human beings until I had to be with someone that was outside of my race. Right. So with all of that, it made me realize that I had to now select the people that are going to be in my new life. That is what I've learned. You have to be selective, because if you're healing and going through the healing process, then the same people that were there during the chaos might not be there during the calm. And that's okay.
Yeah. Wow.
And that's really okay.
Wow. I'm glad that you spoke about. I'm glad that you spoke about finding love. It leads me to my next question, or your fiance. Love, I believe, is a major ingredient in finding purpose, as well as overcoming. You have found love, and you share it so openly, which I think is a beautiful thing. How has finding love helped you on your journey?
Finding love has helped me on my journey because it has proven me wrong. See, I was raised in a household where love was not there. My stepdad and my mom, they fought every night. There were times when my mom would stab my stepfather. You see blood running on the bathtub. I'm running around. Oh, Mommy, don't kill Daddy. Mommy, please. Daddy, please. Mommy, leave Daddy alone. Like, this is the household I was raised in. So for me, love didn't necessarily exist. You just two people with the spirit take, and when your spirit not take no more, you just kind of walk away and it done. Which made me leave partners and partners and partners because I didn't know what compromise was. I didn't understand what a boundary was. Okay. And because I didn't know what a boundary was, I didn't know how I needed to be treated to even fall in love.
Wow.
So finding love and love finding me rather because of the situation and how we met, it's one of those things that has been the major recipe for me to heal because I've allowed another human being to show me how to be, to show me how to do things. And he's showing me by just being himself. So the love that he has given me and is showing me made me go, oh, that's how you do that. Okay. Well, in that case, that's what I feel too. I love you too. Like I'm literally a child. I'm literally a child. My maturity in a relationship is of a child.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Where I need to be taught, this is why I have 3 different therapists.
Wow.
3 days a week. Wow. Because in order for me to get to the next level that I want to be, because I want to be the woman with the husband and the kids and the family, and we go on vacations and we eat really go family dinner around the table, and like when you sit on TV, like me want that too,
Yeah. And you have it. You will have it. We're speaking it. We're claiming it today, Lord. Yes. Yes.
And more importantly, I am worthy of it.
Oh, say it again, Fel. Say it again.
I am worthy of it.
You are worthy. You are.
Not just a TV show.
Yeah.
I can have that.
Yes. Yes.
And I'm responsible for giving myself that. I'm responsible for trusting. I'm responsible for loving. I'm responsible for taking care of myself. I'm responsible for knowing my boundaries. I'm responsible for making sure my daughter understands these things, which means I can have the family that I've always dreamed of. And loving someone and finding love has taught me that, Sin. It has taught me that. Well, especially since it came in the form of an unexpected person. Darling, me never dealt with no white man before in my life. Me don't know nothing about no darling, listen. Me never dealt with no white man in my life. Me never did that thing say the man with me that will actually fall in love with and say yes to marrying him was going to be a white person. But that is the reason why I share it so openly, because a lot of women need to understand that what you think you need might not be what God have in store for you.
You said it. You said it. You said it.
So if you narrow your options, that might be the reason why you're sitting there not having what you want.
All right.
Yeah.
Overcoming represents an action. What steps are you taking in the pursuit of overcoming?
Oh, darling, you talked about it earlier, darling, when you tell people to go get them journal, darling.
So important.
That's, listen to me. Listen to me. You see that sitting down in the morning, having your coffee and writing about your thoughts is your best friend. It won't go back, go tell nobody your business. Your journal, my journaling and chanting and being mindful. Because when I'm mindful, I'm not in the future. I'm in the present tense. And when I'm in the present tense, I'm able to live. Because being bipolar, I can overthink, I can go too much into the future, and then I can create, and then I can spiral. So if I'm being mindful, then I have to be present. And when I'm present, I can be alive, honey. I can live, honey. So that's what my journal does. My journal allowed me to write in present tense and genuinely feel what I'm saying, which usually puts a smile on my face and I can start my day. So journaling, chanting, exercising, because exercise is not just to look nice, but those dopamines, when those dopamines are released in the mornings, it makes me have a better day. Yes, the clarity that comes with it as well. So those are some of the tools that I do, as well as I work on myself. I share it on social media, which created a community. Like even this morning, I didn't post anything this morning, and 7 people inboxed me, Felisha, are you okay? I just want to know if you're okay. How are you feeling this morning? And I'm like, girl, I'm good. They're like, girl, I'm good too. I did my exercise. I did my this. So having that little community, and your community don't necessarily mean your friends. It could be total strangers. Because when you have a common goal, that is what's going to actually get you where you got to go. Everybody having the same goal. Your friend from high school might not feel the same way and they're on the healing journey where you're on right now. So that's the reason why you're going to be selective about the people that get into the calm side of your brain with you.
Wow. Has faith played a part on this journey to overcome?
Well, I'm sorry?
Has faith played a part on this journey to overcome?
Oh, yes. God and I have had a relationship, something we didn't have before. Because my mother didn't believe in God. So when I got baptized, oh, Lord, darling, this is a story. When I got baptized when I was 13 years old, my mother called from America because I was a barrel baby. I was raised in Jamaica, mother live a foreign. So when I got baptized, my mother called and asked them why them carry me go to church, make them brainwash me, and Lord Jesus, what them do to me pitney and whatever. So I had always just stayed away from God and church, and because when you're a child, you do what your mom says.
Yes.
And your mom is like your God. You know
right
what I
or wrong,
mean?
it's true.
So yeah, but let me tell you, hitting my lowest low, falling below myself, not being on TV, not being on radio, silenced my mind and made me have to talk to God. For the moment everything I know to be was taken away from me is when I had nothing else to do but talk to God. And they said, God will do that to you. Because I was on my high horse. You couldn't talk to me, darling. My face step on TV, my face step on billboard, my voice step on radio simultaneously. Me step on tour, all kind of things. So I'm busy. So I don't need God. But when all of that was gone, and I had nothing else but the silence of my mind, and then that chatter, that mind chatter, that negative chatter, and then the attempting of killing myself and all that stuff. Those are the times where you realize that, hold on, maybe something is out there that's bigger than me. Maybe I need to have a conversation with this entity that is bigger than me. And that's when I started. It's called praying, but I just had conversations, man. I just had conversations. I was like, here, Wagwan. Coming to one living a God. I kind of just want dead. Because if me dead, me not have nothing to worry about. So I took 37 pills and laid there waiting for the pills to work. And then I felt myself getting numb. And then I said to God, God, actually, me change my mind, God. So me go beg you do. If it's not too late, me change me think me want to live. God. And then pump my stomach and bring me back to somebody normal. And ever since then, God and I have had an amazing. If it wasn't for God, I wouldn't have had Michael. If it wasn't for God, Africa wouldn't be thriving. So God and I had to get close for the rest of my life to come together.
Yeah, brilliant. What has been the biggest lesson learned from being the mother of an autistic child?
Patience.
That's something I need myself. I'm learning myself.
Oh my gosh, Sid, sweetheart, listen. When you tell an atypical child something, 9 out of 10 chances you have to repeat yourself, right? When you tell an autistic child something, it's a 20 out of 10 you're going to be repeating yourself. Sometimes Michael see that my patience is not that great, and he will say, babe, let me do this part, and you go relax for a little bit. Patience is one of the major things I've learned, because they are communicating with you. You just don't speak their language. And which means you now have to simplify your thought process, not superimpose how you do things. Because that's the thing, the way me and you was raised in a state, we were raised by our parents and our parents' thought process. With an autistic child, you cannot do that. You have to relearn or learn how to deal or to conversate or just to be present with that child and be patient with that child. So I can say one of the biggest things I've learned is patience, because I've had to have the patience to allow her to be her.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
And that's so very important. I have two brilliant autistic children in my life who I love dearly, Tayton and Justin, and just watching their growth and their mothers, their parents who are parenting them.
It's rough.
It's brilliant. It's amazing to watch. So I applaud you and I applaud them. All right,
Yes.
here I go. You said you were gonna make me cry. Thanks, Felisha. All right,
No,
next question.
but you know what? Much respect to someone like you. You do not have an autistic child, but you can empathize with someone who is raising an autistic child. And that is all I ask that people do. Do not sit there and assume you know what this child needs. You understand? Whether you're the cousin of an autistic person, the mother, the grandmother, the father, do not assume you know what this. Please take the time and learn and listen and be mindful, because these children are they're brilliant people. They're a wee fool. I swear to you, they're brilliant. When one day I yelled at Africa. I shout at her so bad because I was still in that. This was back when she was younger, and I was still in the mindset of how my mother raised me, because my mother raised me with 5 bad words in one sentence, right? Me not even have made right. And so I'm used to that. So we were doing homework, and she wouldn't get it right, and I yelled at her, and she looked up at me and with tears in her eyes, and she said, "Mommy, why are you being mean to me? I didn't hurt you. It's people who are mean to you that you should yell at." So simple.
Yeah.
So
I understand.
simple. Exactly. It's so simple. She looking at me saying, "Mommy, me never do you nothing. Why make you talk to me like this?" And it's like I had no choice but to apologize.
Yeah.
And our relationship has been different ever since, because I realized I cannot raise her like how my mother raised me.
And that's great that you
And
can
that is
identify
something
that.
I want everybody to understand about autistic children. Please give them their own time. Don't put them on your watch.
Yeah. Wow. All right. Discussing mental illness within the Caribbean community is almost taboo. Now, I acknowledge that strides are being made to bring it to the forefront. And I want to applaud and thank you for being so open and honest and for sharing your vulnerabilities. And I'm going to ask, why is it important for you to share your journey?
It's important for me to share my journey because there's going to be somebody else that takes 37 pills, and they're going to need to hear somebody say, "Guess what? Spit the pill out. If you live 5 more minutes, I guarantee you that 5 minutes is going to be different from the last 5. And if you live 10 more minutes, that 10 minutes is going to be different from the last 10 minutes. So somebody needs to hear what I've been through so they can realize that where they're at is temporary."
Yeah. Guys,
it's so temporary.
All,
It's not even
all
funny.
the emotions, everything is running through me. How does one identify as bipolar? What steps should be taken to beginning the conversation? Like, because you mentioned earlier that you felt something was off, but didn't know what it was. So how does one identify?
I had this feeling since I was young where I genuinely enjoyed a certain level of chaos. I enjoyed a certain level of anger, rage. So the things that I didn't know was called triggers, but the things that would tick me off before were what most people would call small. So something very small could bring me to a place that had me either hurting myself or hurting the people around me. So I knew from young that level of anger and rage. At first I thought I had an anger problem. That's what I thought. I thought I had an anger problem until I realized that my anger was translating to self-harm. And then when the self-harm started happening, when I was 21 years old, I told my mother, I said, "I think I need to speak to someone." And she said, Lord Jesus, attention, yeah, look, you don't know nothing about nothing. You know, you're right. And then when I was 25 again, I told her I think I need to speak to someone. She said, yeah, make money at Jamaica, you on TV. What kind of somebody you want to talk? You know, go get a bath. I will be a man. She asked, I was never able, Jam Radio is one of the longest jobs I've ever had. Wow. I've never been able to work anywhere past 6 months.
Wow.
So even that day when I came into the office and I quit Jam, that was actually a mania. Wow. But I did not know.
I remember.
You remember? I did not know I was going through a manic episode. And what that does for me is it takes away all rationale. So anything that would make sense to you and you try to explain it to me, it never go choose it. Me never hear it. Me never adhere to it. There is no rationale in my reasoning. So there was always a case of irrational, a case of rage, a case of 0 to 100 in 2 seconds. And I would go through these episodes 3 times a week. Imagine 3 times a week, I would get so angry that I would either break my phone, cut myself, try to harm myself. These are things that I would do in private. And then I would come out into the world and smile. And that's the reason why I now say smile even if you don't feel like it. Because one thing I realized when I would come and I would smile, my mood would change. So for me, being bipolar 1 has been a crutch all my life that I did not know exist until I was able to put a name on it. And some people say, girl, don't claim bipolar, rebuke it in the name of God or whatever. And I'm like, no, that's being a hypocrite. The reason is, if I didn't claim autism, I wouldn't have known how to help her. So in order for me to help myself, I have to put a label, I have to put a name on it so I know what direction to go.
Absolutely.
I don't have a problem with that because it's going to help me heal.
Yeah.
So for someone to recognize with bipolar, the first thing I would say is, if you realize yourself is more depressed than if you realize that you're depressed most of the time, go speak to someone, because you should never self-diagnose.
Yes, true.
That's very important. But if you realize that you just cannot seem to sort your mind out and you're always looking for something to remind you to be sad, then you need to speak to someone. And the sooner the better, because when you know what's wrong, you know what to fix it.
Yeah. Wow. Man, Felisha. Oh boy. Do you think generational trauma can be broken?
Yes.
Yeah.
It takes someone like you. It takes someone like, because I said someone like you, because the fact that you have a show called Chasing Purpose tells me where your mind is. It tells me why you're doing this. It tells me that you're breaking your generational trauma. So someone like you, who is bringing someone like me on to share my perspective along with yours, that's what we're doing right now. We're talking about it. That's something our parents would never get caught doing. They would have never talked about them feelings. To them, to us, they were superheroes that just magically have money and make things happen. Yay!
Yeah.
But for us, with our generation, we're like, no, I'm a person. And there are days when I don't feel like go work.
Yeah.
And there are days when I don't want to shower, I don't want to eat, I don't want to wake up, I don't want to take care of myself. So people like us, that's what we're doing. Just by talking about it. We're not therapists. We're not doctors. We're not here to diagnose or claim to know everything. We're just sharing what we go through, and another woman might be able to relate and find something valuable for herself. And that's all we're doing. So I think we are breaking generational trauma. And I think it's extremely essential, because our daughters sin. Our daughters don't need to do and go through what we did.
Exactly.
And in order to let them know that it's not okay, we have to get up and say it's not okay.
Absolutely. And I'm also going to appeal to the mothers and parents out there, if your children is saying to you, Mommy, I need to speak to someone, something is off, no matter how old, please listen to them. Listen to them. Acknowledge them. Get them the help. There is no shame in going to therapy.
Thank
Felisha
you.
there? I've been. There's no shame in going to therapy. So please listen, take the cues, please. Felisha?
And since like I'm personally working on something to help myself with my mental health, because I realize there are a lot of, because I do take medication, and the medication I take is Abilify. I've been prescribed, and my medication helps me to be stable so I don't fluctuate between manic episodes. And I realize I'm a Jamaican. I want something more natural than the people in medication. So I personally am working on the herbal gummy that I plan on taking for myself, because I don't like capsules, I don't like pills, and I don't like medication. So I'm working on that for myself. But of course, my community of women are also looking forward to it. And that's something I definitely will be sending you a sample once it's all put together. Yes, the herbal gummy is for mental health and physical wellness.
Oh, Felisha, please.
Yeah, girl, trust me, you know what hormones them all over the place, and so I work for things.
Oh my goodness, Felisha, thank you for sharing space and time. I can't tell you how inspiring and empowering today was, and well, tonight was. I certainly hope that someone, even if it's just one person, is touched by your story.
Felisha, indeed. And I truly appreciate your platform. I truly appreciate your thoughts that led you to this destination. And like I said, welcome to the healing community, because now you're going to start living in a whole different light. People's thoughts and opinions of you will not matter, darling, because now you are in your light, your healing journey, and I welcome you with open arms. I love it. I love every bit of it, Sin. I know you're the fashionista and the fashion goddess, but now you've dived deeper into something that you're glowing.
Thank you.
It makes you glow. It makes you glow.
Thank you, Fel. I appreciate it. Felisha, where can our audience find you?
Well, as it stands right now, good old social media, we all know that is the most easiest access you can have to any human being, big or small. So Felisha Lord on Instagram, Felisha Lord on Facebook. And I know everybody have this bad Felisha thing going on right now. That is not how my Felisha is spelled. It's FELISHALORD. So Felisha Lord, Lord like God. Yes, dear man. That's how you find it.
Thank you for being on Chasing Purpose, and we look forward to your journey. We are here with you 100%.
Respect our manners and remember to smile. Yes, even if you don't feel like it.
Awesome. By definition, overcoming means succeed in dealing with. And we can fill in the blanks. Broken relationships, loss of income, failed business, mental health, and as our fellow purposor, Felisha, just graciously discussed with us, mental illness. Overcoming is an action. What actions are we taking to overcome our hurt, anxiety, depression, toxic relationships, generational curses? The steps to overcoming aren't cookie cutter. They are not a one-size-fits-all. Find what is right for you. For me, Chasing Purpose is just that. And I thank you for allowing me space and time to share these brilliant conversations with you. Acknowledging that you need to heal from past traumas is the first step. Open that door. It's time to lift the rug on all the things we neatly packed away. We must address our adversity, no matter how big or small. Do not suppress it. That only allows it to fester, and before you know it, we would have depressed it. Be reminded that God does not give you more than you can bear. If God leads you to it, He's going to lead you through it. Show up for yourself. Take care of yourself. Overcome for yourself. It is in how we honor ourselves that we begin to overcome. I leave you with this quote. Strength does not come from what you can do. It comes from overcoming the things you thought you couldn't. God bless and good night.
World must understand your man is just a man. Don't you judge him for his ways and flaws, no. Speak of love tomorrow, you'll be doing good, my brother. You're working for the greatest cause. He without sin may throw the first stone, and not even a pebble can cast, no. Pharisees and scribes crucify the Son of God. Be careful who you nail on cross. Be careful who you nail on cross. Be careful who no nail on cross. Be careful who you nail on cross. Be careful who you nail on cross. Things is getting rougher and some can't find no supper, much less a good breakfast, no. What a lucky thing, say Rasta youth no longer go. Say naughty dreadlocks got the world steadfast. Grudges are forbidden, forgive to be forgiven. When another man trespass, whoa. Heckle vex with Jekyll and the pot across the kettle. Yo, be careful who you nail on cross. Be careful who you nail on cross. Be careful who no nail on cross. Be careful who you nail on cross. Be careful who no nail on cross. Today might be for you, but Jah might give me tomorrow. So don't count your eggs too fast. You might talk too soon, then your pride off is swallow. Come down off your big high horse. Some preaching religion when inside them hollow, and I bear judgment them pass. Boy, and I go on like them a God when that's a